So, today's mission is this tree that got blown over partially in Storm Eunice. The root plate was leaning on the garage. So, when I first got the call, I climbed it, stripped off as much as I dared, and had the wind blow through it. And I've got 4 bracing cables, so it can't go forwards, backwards, left or right. So those are at the moment holding it in place. We have a cherry picker arriving, so that I can do the top and open up options, because the tree at the moment is too dangerous to rig off. Cherry picker will either be, probably the best place to cherry pick will be positioned here. When you get up and reach out. That reach is good. This is only the 3rd time I've been up in one of these. First was at college when we had a day of demonstration and a ride in one. The second was on an ash puller job with Ollie Wright, and now, which is my first time hiring and operating one for myself. But I do have a basic knowledge of how they're supposed to be operated. The feet are self-levelling, and there are spirit levels mounted on the machines to double check. Also, there are pressure sensors on the feet so it won't let itself overbalance. It's when you're given a machine by the hire company and they give you a look saying, I don't know how to operate this, do you know how to operate this? And then we look back at them and go, no, we don't know how to operate this. But press buttons and pull levers, how hard can it be? When I say I have a basic knowledge, I emphasise basic. Jeez.
Oh, that's horrific. That is so wobbly.
It's horrible. Smooth operation of the controls significantly reduces wobble, a technique I have yet to master. Remind me.
I mean, you've been saying how much you want to use one.
Just don't like it. The size is overkill for this tree really, but the extra reach lets me put the engine and the boom far from falling branches, keeping me and the machine safe. Also, a heavy base keeps the centre of mass low and is reassuring, as I haven't completely learnt to trust them yet. So here you've got the display panel, that's the swiveliness. We've got all of these lights, if it gets upset with me they go red and start beeping. We used natural crotch rigging and I took wraps around stubs for friction. The guy lines were in the way a bit, as was the phone cable, and most of my rigging kit was used tying the tree in place. A tagline would have helped direct descending branches, but there was only Lawrence and me on the job, and not enough people to manage that system effectively. Also, I was out of rope. My concerns were, rigging could pull the tree over in the direction of its lean. This was countered by a rope tightened by the winch pulling in the opposite direction to the lean. Shock from the rigging could cause the tree to fall towards the cherry picker and me. This was countered by a hand tightened rope pulling in the opposite direction, anchored on a birch tree behind the garage. As weight was removed, the tree would stand up, potentially knocking the cherry picker and me over. This was countered by a rope in the direction of the lean. The 4th rope was deemed unnecessary, so it was repurposed as our rigging rope. It is... what's the time?
1:10.
Ah, not too bad, is it? So, the tree's secured on its own roots. It stood up a little bit, so it's now not pressed against the garage. The guy wires are all loose; they're not necessary anymore. I'll take all of those ropes out, apart from one, which as soon as it's low enough that it won't smash into anything. The main obstacle is that wire there. As soon as it's low enough, we'll fell it. We'll pull it over with the winch slightly up the hill there, so it doesn't hit the building. Give it the maximum travel time before it leaves the stump. If it snaps off too early, it's going to go sideways. Big fat hinge, and it's that size. We pulled it over with the winch because we had a very heavy lean towards the building. If you had a thin hinge, the lean might have overcome it, and we would have stood it up, nearly gone straight down and taken out that corner. So, and the other reason I left a very big fat gob cut, so it could pull the tree right over before the hinge snapped. So we get maximum directional control. If we had a little tiny gob, it would have snapped out immediately, and then we would have again run the risk of the weight of the tree pulling it sideways into the corner of the garage. It's got a bit of logging up to do now. Tidying up in home time. If we get stuck up here, we're stuck because I haven't got enough rope.
Holy moly.
What a view, eh?
Yeah, it feels what a view, indeed.
It gets pretty nerve-wracking even turning around because these machines, they wobble. They wobble.
You're gonna have to move in conjunction.
That's pretty cool though, isn't it?
It is pretty cool. Pretty awesome view. I feel like I'm on a helter-skelter. I just don't want to move around too much, you know what I mean? Wobbly wobbly. Mate, you can literally see for miles. Imagine if it was a clear day.
Yeah, my legs just go.
You've got wobbly legs. I just realised how hard you're gripping on.
It's cool, isn't it?
I don't even know what you'd need 23 meters, I guess, for a tree.
The advantage of having this much height and boom length is you can put the machine, say I can get 15 metres up and 5 metres sideways, so you can put the machine far enough away from the bits that you're dropping that it doesn't get damaged.
I wonder how much is actually wobbling. Yeah, quite a lot.